Texans blow out the Chargers.
Here we go. The 2024 playoffs are underway. Fire to the end zone.
Touchdown!
Left side. He's got a hole into the 5. He's in.
Flag race gone. Touchdown! Derrick Henry.
The Ravens defeat the Steelers in wild card fashion.
We are set for Bills Broncos. Allen back to pass. He's got Curtis Samuel wide open at the 33. Puts on the Jets. Touchdown! Curtis Samuel!
Yeah, the Houston Texans punched their ticket for a trip to Kansas City. They played up there earlier in the season. Competitive game. At the beginning of the year, if you told me that, what would Houston be in the playoffs? Why would they be a threat? I'd say it was the offense. It's been the exact opposite. Their offense has struggled. Their defense has been great. They took Detroit to the wall. They picked Goff off 5 times. Took them right to the end of the game and ended up losing that game. Yesterday, they picked Herbert off 4 times. It's the defense. It's DeMeco Ryan. Maybe they can get that offense stabilized and kind of make it an ugly game up there.
You talk about Houston. I can't get over the game last night when you saw the Baltimore Ravens beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers now lost 5 straight games. I mean, that's just unheard of. Defense was horrible. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't stop the pass. Couldn't do anything right last night. And honestly, Jimmy, I'd have to go to you. You can't lose playoff games. This doesn't look anything like the Steelers teams we've seen.
Yeah, Terry, now, I've got no inside information, but, things are stale in Pittsburgh. Things are stale in Dallas. And just food for thought. How about a coaching swap? Mike McCarthy's a Pittsburgh guy. Let him go to Pittsburgh. Let Mike Tomlin go to Dallas. Both franchises would be excited.
But then the only problem is, you said they're both stale, but one continues to make the playoffs and the other one doesn't. That's not stale.
Hey, I'll tell you
One's
who makes
having
the
more
playoffs.
success.
Michael, who makes the playoffs? Buffalo. And I guarantee you they'll be a threat to Kansas City or Baltimore. Yeah. Josh Allen he's having a great year. Mm-hmm. And you look at him, the reason they're having a great year, he is such a threat on 3rd and 4th down. You can't stop him. He can run, pass. He's having a great year.
We'll find out because Baltimore goes to Buffalo now, right?
Yeah, and you got to give Baltimore some credit, too, last night. Yeah, 299 yards rushing. They are a formidable team right now. Gronk, already the first hiring of the offseason has happened. Your buddy Mike Vrabel, former Tennessee coach, now the new head coach in New England.
Yeah, and Jimmy, speaking about coaching changes, the New England Patriots got their guy this morning, and Patriot great Mike Vrabel. And let me tell you, Patriot fans are thrilled. This guy is going to keep everyone accountable in the organization, from the coaching staff to the players. He's going to keep himself accountable, and even the front office he's going to keep accountable. And let me tell you, once again, this guy has knowledge, he has the power, and he's going to be great. He knows how to discipline players. And if I'm Mike Vrabel, the first thing I would do is call up and dial up the number of Josh McDaniels, a familiar foe to Patriot fans, and hire him as the offensive coordinator as soon as possible.
Maybe a package deal already. We'll find out. We're about 20 minutes for kickoff of our game, but there's plenty more on the way. Hey, look at our guy Jimmy Johnson, an action star now.
Hey, I see an Oscar coming.
Can you kick? Can you throw?
I can throw.
Ke Huy Quan has already won one as an Academy Award winner for Everything All at Once. That movie, remember that? He's got a new one. It's called Love Hurts. It also describes our quarterbacks playing today. These teams actually have a lot in common, but Reds come in with 11 wins during the regular season, even though they are the number 7 seed.
Yeah, they're 11 wins, but they're 2-5 versus playoff teams. And you look at them, Jordan Love protects the football. He doesn't turn it over. He doesn't take a whole lot of sacks. They're going to move the football against that Vic Fangio defense for Philadelphia. Fangio likes to play zone coverage. He doesn't like to blitz a whole lot. And so it's going to be a question, Terry, whether or not Green Bay can match scores with Philadelphia.
Well, they can, absolutely. They have Reed and they have Dobbs at wide receiver. They got a great tight end in Kraft. So if they do blitz, Kraft will be huge in that. And they got an awesome offensive line. Every one of the Green Bay offensive linemen were drafted. This is a great offense. And against zone, if they play cover 2, too deep, corners up, I get inside that corner. Man, I got a two-way go. There's holes all in the zone. I expect Green Bay to really load up and throw great today against that cover 2 zone.
Yeah.
And with Christian Watson going down last week while they were vying for the 6th seed, it's going to hurt them, especially in the red zone. But the Green Bay Packers will be fine. They're a team that's receiver by committee, meaning they spread the ball around. When one man goes down, the next man is up. I've been a part of a lot of teams like that in New England. And if the Packers want to win this game, they got to establish that run early and often with running back Josh Jacobs. And on top of it, Jordan Love is going to have to play like a phenomenal point guard, spread that ball around, especially to Jaden Reed and tight end Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft.
Yes.
Yes.
Green Bay made a decision to make a change at defensive coordinator, bring in Hafley, who was the head coach at Boston College, like a lot of college coaches not wanting to deal with college football and NIL and all that. He's done a great job, and I think this defense is going to have their hands full today. And the biggest question is Jalen sharp? Is he rusty? Is he healthy? And I don't think Jalen's going to know until he gets hit. I think you're going to go heavy box, try to take Saquon on, and I think they remind me a little bit, Jimmy, of your offense. Different style of run game, but the same thing. They wear you down. Their big yards come in the second half. They've got to stand up tight versus that run game and take care of the deep throws. I think the defense, they've got to start with the run game.
You need an oxygen tank?
Yeah,
you were going for a while, buddy.
I got winded.
But
There's a breath in there somewhere.
But the Packers they allow under 100 yards rushing. You got Saquon Barkley. Yeah. That's going to be the first battle. Xavier McKinney, co-leader in takeaways in the NFL.
Thank you,
Number
Giants.
2 in interceptions in the NFL. Thank you, New York Giants, because you let him go, you let Barkley go. Well done. But these guys are going to be – so it's really going to be something about that Packers defense against Saquon Barkley. And as you said, you don't know what you're going to get out of Jalen Hurts until he gets hit. And then offensively, I think with Reed coming in, Watson being out's a big deal, but Reed actually had more 20-plus yard catches than Watson did. And the biggest thing, hold the ball, catch the ball. The Packers have 33 drops. That's tied with the Chargers for the teams in the playoffs with the most drops. So hold the ball and stop the run.
Green Bay's an interesting team. When they play well, they can play with anybody. A large part of that, though, is because they have in the backfield that they picked up this offseason. When we come back, we'll talk about the two is Saquon Barkley. Same can be said for Josh Jacobs in Green Bay, and as we welcome in Aaron Andrews from Philly. EA, so much for the running back being obsolete now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy. A year ago, both of these players, old teams, they were thought of as obsolete. And both of them kind of said, sorry, we don't need the both of you anymore. Now, those old teams are going to sit back and watch today. Saquon Barkley, his first team All-Pro. Josh Jacobs looking to win his first playoff game today. Both of these backs, they're tone setters. Both of them are arguably MVPs. And both of them, when the moment is right, looking to call their number.
Time ticking down. Play of the game. Needed a touchdown. Mammoth decision here. Well, they will have one shot. 180. 19 is up.
Third down, 4-yard line with a minute left. I'm not gonna lie, I want to have as many options as possible to score. Some type of gap scheme, get me downhill. Probably want to put myself on a choice route, keep my shoulder square so I can manipulate the linebacker. So I can have a one-on-one with the linebacker. Know who my guy is, you know who your one-on-ones. Easy win. Touchdown. Let's get it. You gonna see it. You gonna see it.
Now hands it off, Jacobs. Feed him again.
For me, I like to play mind games with defenders. I kind of take it as like a boxing match. You know, every box is a little different. You got guys who come out and swinging. So I might come out early and I might try to run over everybody I see.
Earl to the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
I might lower my shoulder on a guy just to make him feel that
Puts him on his back.
I can juke him, I can jump over him, I can use speed.
There he goes.
I think he's the most electric running back in the NFL. Really never no telling what he can do.
Most physical runner in the NFL. It's not even close. He's hard to tackle. He will break your will.
He's fast, he can outrun you. He's got moves, and he's a big back.
Spins past another.
That's what make it crazy.
No one's ever done this.
230 doing stuff like that is crazy.
Renewed spirits. That's why they brought him here. He just needed a new start. Stocked with talent. And
when you see backs like myself and Josh, I think it's a beautiful thing where you have two players who probably weren't valued.
I mean, I think it's dope. I was on them phone calls. You know, me and Saquon, we text back and forth before we even, decided to leave our teams.
hey, play next 1, 2, 3. Play next 1 away.
Just like in football, in life, you get a new opportunity, you get new scenery, you surround yourself with new people, good things happen, and we're a testament to that. The decision that I made when I wanted to come here, I wanted to expand on my legacy. I wanted to build my name.
That time of year where names are made.
Playoff football is one of the main reasons I came here. At the end of the day, like, legacy is made in the playoffs.
I knew I had so much more in the tank. So far, it's looking like I made the right decision.
Saquon Barkley's the guy.
I think 3 stadiums left that I've never played in. So, you hear about Philly.
He's going to get the chirping and the hollering, but for a guy like him, he's going to feed off it.
I like that type of stuff. I think they're going to turn me up. You're going to bring the best version of me out. When the moment's the biggest, I play my best.
The things that matter most is January football, is playoff football.
For me, I'm just excited to see that and see what it feels like.
The road to New Orleans. Win in advance, lose and go home. So whatever it takes to get the job done.
And the Packers just thrilled to have both of these guys added to their roster this year. I got to tell you, in covering the Packers all season long, Matt LaFleur has talked about Josh Jacobs' physicality and how it's just been so contagious. I know you guys will love this in the studio. He just talks about how Josh runs through people's faces. And if you sit there and you watch that, you want to do the same. And for Saquon Barkley, Michael Strahan, I know this may be a little hard for you and other Giant fans to hear, but, he told us this year, this is exactly why I came to Philly. He's never played in a home playoff game before, and he talked about this week, I know these Eagle fans are wild, and I cannot even imagine what they are going to be like for a home playoff game. Sorry, Stray.
Now, you know what, EA, I appreciate you saying that, but to be honest with you, I text Saquon pretty much after every game. Because I'm so happy, I'm so proud he's in a situation where he's having a lot of fun, he's having a lot of success. And, look at both of these games, Saquon mentioned it, we're not valued. But the reason that these two teams are playing in the playoffs against each other today is because these guys are big parts of that. And what can you say about Saquon? They're second in rush offense, the Eagles are. The first team All-Pro for the first time in his career, 11 100-yard rushing game. I mean, you're second in this season yards after contact, second in the league yards after contact, first in the league yards before contact, also the most yards in the fourth quarter. I mean, this is a team that wears you down, and this guy is one of the big reasons for that. And also another big reason for it is their O-line. You cannot have success, as Saquon Barkley's had, without an O-line, and that bodes well for Saquon Barkley, Howie. It also bodes well for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and I think they go hand in hand. And what kind of a factor will Jalen Hurts be in the run game? What's his status today? I'm not sure that he even knows until he really gets hit. I mean, you can practice all you want until you get hit, particularly with a head injury, with a concussion issue. I think his participation in the run game sets up Saquon, sets up the passing game with Brown and Smith and Goddard and all that. And the second half of games is where they wear people down. That offensive line is like body blow, body blow, body blow. And I tried to make the point earlier about the Dallas comparison. You wore people down in late in games, you just put them away.
The thing about this, Mike hit on it, is offensive line. As a quarterback, if I'm going to build a football team, I'm going to build my offensive line. I want the best there is. Both Green Bay and Philadelphia, outstanding offensive line. Therefore, that allows them now to get their weapons going. You look at throwing the football deep. Devontae Smith for Philadelphia, outstanding deep. Then Brown, outstanding. And if you want to try to blitz, you've got Barkley, coming out of the backfield, Goddard at tight end. And then the quarterback Hurts. I would not worry about the read zone and him keeping it. That's not going to happen, I don't think, in this game. If they do it, forget about him and go for the back Barkley, because I don't think Hurts has the ability right now, especially coming off the concussion protocol, to run with the football. We'll see. But it's deep throws today, and Brown and Smith, those receivers, man, they are fun to watch.
Gronk, he talks about this offensive line. The thing you were saying to us is they're huge.
Yeah, just how extremely mammoth the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles are, and they're led by Lane Johnson, who's 6'8", 340 pounds, and the smallest guy on the line is the newcomer who replaced Philly great Jason Kelce. He's done a phenomenal job this year, and that's Cam Jurgen. He's 6'3", 320 pounds. Everyone else is above 6'6" on that offensive line, which is phenomenal. They're all fast. They all have that nasty attitude as well. They're relentless, and they're street fighters out on the field. And when you got guys with that type of personality on the offensive offensive line, you're going to have 2,000-yard rushers behind you like Saquon Barkley, and that's going to equal to a deep playoff run as well.
You know, I think all of us a year ago would have said Philadelphia is as talented as anybody in the league. But they lost 6 out of the last 7. Well, Howie Roseman, the general manager, he wasn't going to stay pat. What defensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, brought in a new defensive coordinator, you know, as far as Vic Fangio. Then what did he do with the offense? He brought in Barkley, one of the more explosive offenses in the league. And what did he do on defense? He drafted 2 starting defensive backs and Zach Bond, one of the best defensive teams in the league. They were as talented as anybody in the league a year ago. They're even more talented right now.
Howie threw out that we don't know exactly what the situation is with the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Jay Glazer does. He brings us in and out. Brought to you by Geico.
All right, guys, look, so there's several steps you have to go through in order to pass the concussion protocol. The last step is that you go out and practice, and then after that practice, they give you some more tests. Well, he actually passed all that in the middle of the week. He practiced fully Thursday on. He said he actually looked great. So they don't have any concerns right now for Jalen Hurts. 2 of his receivers, they got banged up this week as well. Devonta Smith, his back just tightened up, but he is good to go. He loosened it up, and A.J. Brown had a little knee swelling. He's good as well. On the other side, with the Packers, we know about Jordan Love. He lost feeling in his hand last Sunday, but that actually came back early this week. I'm told that he is absolutely fine. And look, if he was to get hit on that elbow again, to hurt the hand, Malik Willis is back up in a thumb injury. I'm told he is good to go.
All right, enough talking about this. Let's make our picks. We will start the Eagles, 5.5-point favorites over the Packers at home. Jimmy, who you take?
A year ago, Green Bay beat Dallas, a 7th-round pick. You know, Green Bay was. That doesn't happen today. I pick Philadelphia.
Michael.
Well, you know what? I'm desperate for a win.
There you go.
So I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take Green Bay.
Yeah.
Howie?
Well, I'm going to go Philly. I thought you were going to say you were desperate for a win. I'll go Philly.
I know, but I'm down. I need the
you
points.
need a point.
Yeah, I need them.
So is this about you or who you think's going to win the game?
Right.
I think Green Bay's going to win the game, obviously. Kurt, you don't pick. So why are you interjecting in my thought process over here? Let me think for me.
Howie?
Philly.
Okay. Gronk.
Are you sensitive?
I'm going to go with that dominant offensive line, Philadelphia Eagles.
TB.
I'm desperate. I got to catch Jimmy, and the only way I can do it in the playoffs is I got to pick an upset. So today I'm going with Green Bay. I do believe Jordan Love and them. I think they're going to attack that cover too. Those zones. It's going to be a...
Tục móc này. Mọi người cứ móc lần lượt từng mũi cho đến hết cho mình. Tiếp tục. Lặp đi lặp lại cho đến hết. Rồi. Mình cắt cái phần dây màu đỏ đô đi nhé cho nó khỏi vướng này. Đấy được 3 màu như này. Giờ sẽ móc tiếp nhé. Bây giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo. Cứ lần lượt cho đến hết. Tiếp tục mũi nữa nhé. Tiếp tục những mũi nữa này. Mọi người cứ móc lần lượt cho đến hết cho mình nhé. Mình tiếp tục móc những mũi tiếp theo. Tiếp tục mũi nữa này. Đấy, mọi người móc lần lượt từng mũi cho mình. Mình sẽ móc lại cái mũi này nhé, nó hơi lỗ một chút. Tiếp tục một mũi nữa này. Cứ lần lượt từng mũi một. tục những mũi nữa nhé. Lặp đi lặp lại cho đến hết. Tiếp tục. Cứ lần lượt cho đến hết. Giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo nhé. Tiếp tục móc này, cứ lặp đi lặp lại cho đến hết. Tiếp tục một mũi nữa nhé. Tiếp tục, mọi người cứ móc lần lượt từng mũi một. Ok, được 3 màu như này. Cái áo nó đã dài thêm ra rồi đấy. Nhưng mà cái độ dài này là vẫn còn hơi ngắn nhé. Mọi người mình sẽ phải móc thêm vài hàng nữa thì mới đủ cái độ dài áo nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục mình móc. Tiếp tục móc này, cứ lần lượt từng mũi một cho đến hết. Mọi người cứ móc lần lượt từng mũi một nhé. Tiếp tục móc nha mọi người, cứ lần lượt từng mũi một.